Oh boy. Well, sorry about that. Well, here we almost are. Let me flip the. Where are we? And one more. Well, here we almost are. I have just about almost everything ready for the mod project tomorrow, save for the SD card mount, which I'm still waiting on, which should come in either tomorrow or Wednesday. And once we get that in, we're ready to go. But I think before we do that, what I wanted to do was kind of have my own little retrospective night as to see where the GameCube came from in regards to like pre-release stuff. So I went around the internet and compiled about 2 hours worth of archival footage of events from both E3 2001 and SpaceWorld 2000 that show off, stuff that the GameCube was being stuff from the GameCube's new or pre-release era at the time. So this is all stuff that was either beta footage or just new release, fan reactions, people's own archival footage. So people who went to E3 and experienced this first hands on. So yeah, I went around and collected a bunch of that, and that's what we're gonna look at. So sit back, relax. Let me actually get a beer because I need to watch this. I'm not watching this sober. Alright. Without further ado, everybody get cozy, get a snack, get a drink. And let me pop this off. I love the taste of shit. Alright, let's do this. So, the first one, I'm kind of not really gonna do these in like any particular order. So, the first one, this is just called the Nintendo difference. So this was kind of like a pre-show video of like what the GameCube could technically, basically do at the time. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
How do you keep making the greatest games? How do you keep making the greatest games? You start with a platform, one that blends power and agility with a singular purpose. You base everything you do on the art of the developer and your true knowledge of the players. Then you make it affordable and available. Add a generous helping of pure Nintendo fun, and you call it GameCube.
I'd love to hear like what other names they possibly had for the GameCube at the time. Let me just down a little bit. Because the project name was Dolphin. Ooh, God, Dinosaur Planet. This was when they were kind of transitioning from the N64 to the GameCube with this game. I'm glad that we got the prototype or like a pre-release build of Dinosaur Planet, but like I still want to play more of it. And we might get to Star Fox Adventures someday, if I'm feeling it. Raven Blade. What the heck is Raven Blade? Wave Race Blue Storm. Need to look up what the heck is this Raven Blade game. I've never heard of it. Maybe, like, some of these games may have just went under different names, or in the long run probably got canceled altogether. Kobe! Why would you suggest that? Oh yeah, this Mickey game. Oh god, Donkey Kong Racing. Yeah, that was ill-fated. Probably because Rare was being bought out by Microsoft at this time. So, but I keep seeing this Mickey game all over the place, and I don't know what it is. Because I don't think like they came up with like a title for it during this time. And of course, the big one, Luigi's Mansion. Ooh, prototype Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, that clock in the bottom right wasn't there in the final game. So yeah, you can tell these are different because of like the beta HUD. Oh god, Luigi's dead. Animal Forest. Before they named it to Animal Crossing. Ooh, Metroid Prime. We didn't get this until later though. I think this came out like later in 2002. Mario Kart for GameCube. See how early this is in development? Ugh, cameo elements of power. I forgot that this was being worked on GameCube first. We didn't see this until the 360 launch. Zelda for GameCube, as expected. But this is not the Zelda that we expected or got. Well, it's the one we expected, but not the one that we got. So.
What does it take to make a great game? What it takes is the Nintendo difference.
Well then, what an intro. So I guess they showed that off when the GameCube was being released, or not when it was being released, but when it was being unveiled at these special events in 2000, 2001. So why don't we move on to our next video? So this is the GameCube announcement trailer at SpaceWorld 2000. So this is before E3 2001. And I believe that's Hiroshi Yamauchi. I could be corrected on that. Some of these trailers probably have better uploads elsewhere. It's just, this is probably the best that I could do for right now. So that's Meowth's Party. The famous tech demo for the GameCube. This Metroid. A lot of people were expecting a new Metroid, because at this time, we haven't had a new Metroid since Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. New Star Wars game, which would become Rogue Squadron 2. Early footage of Luigi's Mansion. And then I think they were trying to work on a follow-up to the Perfect Dark. There's the dog. So if you want to see those, if you want to see those again in higher quality, I've got another upload of that as well. So these are just the tech demos that were shown, kind of in their raw footage. Some with different audio. So yeah, Meowth's Party was a popular one, and that was referenced in Melee as well. So interesting thing about these tech demos is that prior to the GameCube's release, the GameCube actually had a different graphical chip, and it was switched out just before the GameCube release. I think it was probably just to cut costs. So what you saw here was actually better than the final product. But when the final product came out, it didn't give a lot of developers a lot of time to switch out or downgrade the graphics. So that's how a lot of these games kind of got delayed because they had to readjust to the new graphics. And of course, everybody knows Mario 128. There's a good Did You Know Gaming video on this, narrated by Donkey. It's really hard to watch those videos, or it's really hard to watch a Did You Know Gaming video narrated by Donkey when he's trying to be serious. It's really hard. It's a good video, but so here's a longer one. So this is kind of like the entire SpaceWorld 2000 conference. We're not gonna watch all of this. We're not just watch for like the first 10 minutes. And granted, this is all in Japanese, by the way. So there's like no subtitles for this. So they're just here getting ready for the event. Speed it up a little bit. Somebody should correct me. Is that Hiroshi Yamauchi? Or is that somebody else? I wish I could understand what they're saying. Oh, yep, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the first unveiling of the Gameboy Advance. The Gameboy Advance was just announced and unveiled at this time as well, so they were working not only on the GameCube, but the Gameboy Advance too. So you might see a little bit of Gameboy Advance footage in this archival reel, but we're mostly going to focus on GameCube. Oh yeah, I read a report on this. They actually had like smoke machines and women in latex costumes for this event. They went all out. They definitely went all out on this. For such a new console launch, they used to really go party on this. I remember watching the Xbox 360 launch. That was insane when that came out in 2005. I remember the Wii launch as well. That holiday was insane. Look at this freaking spectacle. Oh my god, move your camera, man. So there they are. There's the GameCubes, fresh off the parking lot. What's that red one on the far right? I don't remember ever seeing a red GameCube like that, unless it was a very special release. Were they supposed to come out in red? Or is that like red or rose gold or pink or whatever? Yeah, that one. What is that one? So they came out in silver, they came out in they came out in platinum, they came out in black, indigo, spice orange, but I do not remember the red one. And speaking of, I wonder where that red one is. Like, where are all these prototype GameCubes now? If they even worked. Okay, so this is just the video that we literally just watched. Like, I tried not to do repeats of the videos that I found because there's a couple like multiple listings for these. But, like, this is basically people's first interactions looking at, you know, the technicalities of what the GameCube could do. Kind of like how the crowd just went silent when there was a Star Wars video. It's like we don't care about that. We just want to see a new Zelda. Which we wouldn't get a Zelda like that until the very end of the console's life. In Twilight Princess. And I really want to say that's Joanna Dark when they were trying to work on Perfect Dark Zero / whatever the follow-up was. I wonder how many games we're gonna see in this video reel that ended up getting canceled or moved to another project, because we saw Cameo. I have Cameo Elements of Power. Just a little bit more of this. So I have Cameo on on 360. I've actually just never played it. Alright. There's another one of these. There's like a whole, I guess, hour-and-a-half long video documentary of some guy who went to E3 2001. I'm only gonna show one of those parts, but the Japanese guys at Nintendo did come over to present this at E3 01. So yeah, they're showing the mini discs. So yeah, that's it. Hard to think you can fit an entire package into something this small. I'll be honest, I was surprised at this too when I first saw the GameCube. SD card adapter? Ooh, the Wavebird. Broadband adapter. I need to find another Wavebird. They sell the controllers on eBay, but most of them don't come with the receiver adapter. Ooh, prototype GameCube controller. See, look at those face buttons. Yep, there's Miyamoto. What is that stick? I think there's a video. Oh. Okay, so this is Game Boy Color stuff. Anything more that they showed at this event? That was just kind of like the press conference. So yeah, Game Boy Advance. I never actually got to play Mario Kart on Game Boy Advance. I might do that. I was either thinking about buying the Wii U Virtual Console version or playing it on the Game Boy EverDrive, which I will get a Game Boy Advance EverDrive once they come back in stock. This isn't my original Game Boy Advance. I traded it in for a newer model, but it's basically the same thing. I'd like to backlight mod one of these someday. Yeah, they're talking about the link cables. I never had a link cable as a kid either. What the hell is that? Oh, battery packs. I don't remember any battery packs for the Game Boy Advance though. Game Boy Advance is also celebrating its 20th anniversary this year too. It just hit 20, I think, in March. Oh, yep, Pokemon, of course. There's Pokemon Gold, Silver, and I think Crystal recently released, or was just about to release at this time. So while we were getting Pokemon 2000 in theaters, Japan was already getting Pokemon 3. So, and 64 stuff. So yeah, I think our Game Boy Advance 20th anniversary is like next month, I think. Gorgeous girls, they've got to be at least 40 now, though. Anything else in this video? I didn't take a look at the entire video. Oh, yep, Pokemon. More Pokemon stuff. Mario Party. So this is just like, what else is there left to release on N64? Or like what we have on N64 at the time. I'm not gonna take too much more look at this. Yeah, Mario Party 3 was also new. Banjo-Tooie, Animal Forest, Game Boy Color. So yeah, this is, you know, kind of leaving the last generation and entering a new one. After this is done, I can show you guys, or I can like give you guys the links to all these videos that I'm showing you. I'll put it in a text file. Okay. So let's just move on to the next video. So this was a VHS of the GameCube. I believe this was in SpaceWorld 2001. So this was after E3 2001. So this was the next year. And this is also in Japanese, but this is, again, probably just another, like, reveal of what do we have out for the GameCube now. Because I believe this came out when the GameCube was already out.
GameCube 誕生。新しい遊びが詰まったニューハード。
Tadashi. New.
それがゲームキューブ。さあ、新しいゲームの世界へ。
We'll look into some Game Boy Advance stuff later too. I want to get the Game Boy player first.
水面へのリアルな映り込み、そしてこの水の透明感。ゲームキューブでさらにパワーアップしたウェーブレース登場。
Tojo.
ターボでぶっちぎ、波を呼んで。
I never actually played Wave Race. Not on the N64 at least.
雨にも負けず、風にも負けず、嵐にも負けず。同じコースでも天候が
I might give it a shot.
天候が変わるとレースが変わる。刻々と変化する視点を把握し、勝利をつかめ。4人対戦ではぶつかりまくって自分のラインをこじ開けろ。天候を読み、そして波を
I
制
feel
したものだけ
like Wave Race is just like a fun game that like either nobody talks about or just like was kind of taking a backseat to like other games at the time. Because, like, if you bought a GameCube at launch, would you buy it for Luigi's Mansion? Or would you buy it for Wave Race Blue Storm? Of course, you'd buy it for Luigi's Mansion.
ルイージ初主演作ルイージマンション
Luigi Mansion.
いな
There's
く
no
なってしまっ
plural.
たマリオを探すためルイージの冒険の始まりだ迷路のようにたくさんの部屋がある屋敷の中にはテレサをはじめいたずら好きのお化けがいっ
I've
ぱ
been
い
watching a lot of Luigi's Mansion speedruns as
握
of
りしめた
recently
懐中
too.
電灯で光を操り暗い部屋の中を探検だ
God, I haven't played Luigi's
背中
Mansion
に
in
背負った掃除機の使い方がゲームの鍵を握
maybe
る
10 years, at least.
怖が
No
り
more
ル
than
イージは
15.
マリオを助け出すことができるのか痛快ドタバタホラーアクションゲームルイージマンション
Pikmin. Oh boy.
不時着した星で
What can I say about Pikmin?
彼らの名前
Nothing,
は
honestly.
ピクミン
Pikmin is just like that game that I only knew existed because there was a trophy of it in
動
Melee.
物でもありま
But
せん
like, I've never played Pikmin, and I just don't get it. Alright?
は働き
Like I just said for Wave Race Blue Storm, this is probably not a game that I would buy solely to get a GameCube for.
ピクミンは戦います
Not that it's a bad game from what I've looked at it, but it's just like, I have absolutely no experience, so I can't say anything about
そ
it.
してさような
It was just not a game that I played during
全て
my
の生き物
childhood.
がそうであるように
I might have known a couple people who owned it, but I just never
忘れ
played
ない
it.
でください
So,
この星
if
から
I ever get around to
脱出を
playing
手伝ってく
Pikmin,
れる
it's going to be a completely
あなたの大切な
blind
仲
and
間
interesting experience.
それがピクミン
I probably didn't get it because it's, from what I heard, sold like Teraboy.
野生全開世界初の仮ゲー
Think this is
ゲームキューブに参上
Cubivore?
動物番長走れ野生を
Yeah,
失
this
っ
is
た世界に
Cubivore.
色を取り戻せ
Again, I never even heard of this game, despite, like,
敵をねじ伏せろ
again, there was a Melee trophy. Well, most of these games I heard due to Melee trophies, because we had, like, all the trophies.
強くなる
But all it just said was future release, so it's like they didn't either have a title for it, or it's going to be Japan only. Which, I guess we did get this game.
野生を忘れた人間たちに送る
I don't know if I want to check this one out. I don't know if it really looks that
動
appealing
物
to
番
me.
長 GameCube
To make a GIF or a soundbite of that. If I ever get affiliate, I'll do some sound bites. That might be one. There we are. Star Fox
生
Adventures.
まれ変わって登場スターフォックスアドベンチャーダイナソープラネット
Dinosaur Planet.
スケール将軍によって支配されたダイナソープラネットを救うためおなじみフォックスマク
I really wish they kept it as Dinosaur Planet. Not that I don't think Star Fox Adventures is a bad game. It's just like Nintendo probably would have been better just to leave it alone, because I definitely would have loved to see it what it was like on N64. But like as a Star Fox game, it feels wildly different from what I'm used to.
宇宙を暴れ回ってこの星に平和をスターフォックスアドベンチャーダイナソープラネット
Dobotsu no Mari.
ここを訪れもう一つの暮らしを始めています知っていましたか動物の森明日も遊びに来たくなる村での暮らしは自由で
Never got into Animal Crossing either.
誰かにお手紙を書いたり
And I heard they got
自分のお部屋を
much
飾
more
ったり
different over time as
何か
well.
をするのもしないのも
Like the
あな
old
たのお気
Animal
に入りです
Crossings are like not even comparable to the new ones.
たくさんの動物たちやお友達と一緒に暮らすうちにいつの間にかあなたの本当の生活さえも変えていくかもしれま
Do
せん
have an N64 EverDrive, so I could play the N64 version.
ここで暮らした人だけがわかる
At least the
不思議な
fan
魅力の
translation
もう
of
一
what
つの
there
暮らし
is.
あなたも始めてみませんか
I don't know.
動物の森
I feel like this is gonna be all, like on my interest level with like Pikmin.
知らないままでいればよかった知られざる恐怖の歴史を 一冊の
When
古
did
文書を
Eternal
開いた時
Darkness
か
come
ら
out?
あなたの悪夢は始まる。エターナルダークネス。
Feels like it didn't come out until much
時
later.
間と空間を超えて闇の歴史に抗う者たち。一体何が現実で何が幻想なのか。彼らを悪意に満ちた恐怖が襲う。主人公の心理状態がゲームに反映されるサニティシステム。心のバランスを失った時、あなたは新たな恐怖を目撃する。
2002, heavily delayed. Yeah, what the hell was Captain being available? Oh.
繰り返される歴史の一部となり果てる前に異色のサイコアドベンチャー
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that guy.
招かれた13人
I think that's on my play. Oh, yep, there we go. I think that's on my playthrough list at some point. And of course, here's the one that everybody bought the GameCube for, including me. This is solely what we got the GameCube for, Christmas 2001. Oh, that and NHL Hitso 2. Later on in this video, I'm going to show you guys the American reveal trailer reaction to this. And the reactions to people, or like, people's reactions to this are just amazing. 11/21.
GameCube.
Words. Okay, so like 2 more minutes. How you folks enjoying the show? .1080 Avalanche. I played the first 10. Yeah, what is this Mickey game that I'm seeing all over the place, but like, I have no idea what it is. I keep seeing this in early footage, but I have no idea what game, like, what is that? Disney Mickey. Disney thing. It says Disney's Mickey. I guess they just didn't have a title for it yet. That's a different Metroid Prime than what I noticed. Like, the HUD on the left and right is different from the final game. Gushing the Giant. I honestly forgot this was on GameCube. I thought this was N64 only. Oh my god, is he humping a mountain? Ooh, Donkey Kong Racing. I really hope that there's some sort of playable build of Donkey Kong Racing somewhere. Because with all the GameCube, or like with all the Nintendo prototypes that have leaked within the last year, I really hope that we get some GameCube prototypes soon. Make it happen, Hidden Palace.
GameCube ここから遊びが広がっていく。さあ、新しいゲームの世界を体験しよう。
Yeah, it might have been just a tech demo. Man, the rare buyout by Microsoft kind of sucked in the end, didn't it? Alright, so that was shown at SpaceWorld 2001. The rest of these videos, we're gonna take a look at what was out at E3 2001. So this was actually E3 2001, looking at the calendar, was 20 years ago on this day. So this past weekend, May 17th through 19th, was the 20th anniversary of E3 2001. So here's what people were screaming about 20 years ago. We're not going to watch this whole video, because the second part is a video that we already looked at. This is all good, GIF imagery, if you want to make some GIFs out of this. There it is. There's the good old GameCube controller. This is kind of hard to hear. It's Chris Stamper of Rare.
The new technology is designed by people that understand games. This is games hardware brought to us by games.
Some of the audio on these videos are a little bit spotty. The ill-fated Silicon Knights. Shouldn't have stolen that game engine, guys. Otherwise, people might have given a shit about Too Human.
People are going to be able to focus on creating the game rather than
Studios.
struggling with the hardware. It's basically going to be an incredibly powerful machine that's going to be easy to program, and say you get 90% of the maximum peak out of it straight out of the box.
They did a fantastic job with Metroid Prime. I've never actually beaten Prime, although it was one of the games that I had as a kid. But I tried playing through it as much as I could, but I only got like halfway through. Because the backtracking in that game was insane. So much backtracking to it.
To make the best video game performance rather than the best polygon performance. We're telling stories like we've never told before, and all of the ideas that we really wanted to convey, we can do this with the new technology.
Wonder how many people were actually excited for Star Fox Adventures and then found out that it went through so many changes between 1999 and 2001.
So capable. We are able to very closely deliver what we really want to show the players, and it's wonderful for our designers. You've seen the sort of things that we can do with N64. I mean, this is a whole order of magnitude better. This is the first 3D platform that really will give us the ability to show you what we want to show. The graphics people saw how the technology got directed, started talking to them and said, so what does this mean we can do? And then when they found out, their eyes lit up and you could just see them starting to drink.
To be honest, I don't recognize most of those games. How many times have we seen this Donkey Kong racing footage before? I don't know when we're gonna play Star Fox Adventures, but I might do it at some point. Okay, yeah, this video we've already seen. So, I guess that was just kind of a sneak peek of Star Fox Adventures and then Eternal Darkness. Okay, so this next video, this is some guy who actually went to E3 and took a video camera and actually filmed his experience on the floor of the Nintendo booth at E3 So this is kind of like more of what I wanted to see out of all these. So this is the old Nintendo booth at E3 2001. They're showing off Luigi's Mansion. It's a huge light show. They got a DJ up there. I don't know if, like, I haven't really been paying much attention to Nintendo or the major parties, like, involvements in E3 as of recently, because I know this year they're going to do it digitally. It's Donkey Kong Racing for the millionth time again. And I think this is gonna be weird, but I think I remember seeing a prototype of like Diddy Kong Racing or Donkey Kong Racing on the Xbox, like the OG Xbox, when Rare transitioned over to Microsoft. Like, I remember seeing it somewhere. I just don't know where exactly I saw it. But wonder what it would have taken to even get into this show. That's a party that I want to be at. There are videos of the other booths at E3 as well. Like there's video of the Sony and the Xbox and the Microsoft booth, and even Sega's booth. Like this was the last time that Sega had a major impact at E3 because in 2001 they were basically closing up on the Dreamcast and kind of branching out as a third-party developer. But I mean, just today we're just gonna focus on the Nintendo stuff. So I guess by now you can kind of tell like what were the main games that they were focusing on. So Star Fox Adventures, Melee, Animal Crossing, so stuff from Nintendo, stuff from Rare, Pikmin. We're gonna see a bit of Rogue Squadron 2 footage. Oh, okay, I gotta pause this. So hold on. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. So you see that Wario puppet there? So that, from what I understand, that was voiced by Charles Martinet, who was doing the voices of the puppets. And for the past couple of years at E3, they had this puppet, like they had a Wario puppet and they had a Mario puppet, and I could show you guys. So yeah, like these animatronics here. So like, yeah, they had these Mario puppets and they had these Wario puppets, and these were here for like the first couple of years at E3. And what was happening at this table here was people could sit down at this table and they would kind of like play roulette, like where it would spin around the table, and you had the chance to win you had the chance to win a Game Boy Advance, which, bear in mind, this was actually just before the Game Boy Advance released in North America. So you had the chance to win a Game Boy Advance, or kind of like a stress ball toy of a GameCube. It was a miniature. It was like a miniature GameCube. See if I can find it. Okay, yeah, here. So it's like you could win a Game Boy Advance or like this miniature GameCube here that was kind of like a stress ball, and you'd win it at this table, kind of like by placing bets on this table. And here they'd have Wario or Mario. I think like later, yeah, I think like later Mario was there too. So you could see Mario and Wario here. And they were both voiced by Charles Martinet, and they would like talk to you while you were like trying to gamble on this Game Boy Advance at this table here. There's a bunch of videos out there for this as well, so you guys should definitely check those out. But that was something that I kind of wanted to stop this and explain it. That was something interesting that I checked out when I was researching these videos. But like, look at this setup. Look at like all these screens that you could just like. I believe this is just like for the media or just for the press to witness. But like, wouldn't it just be awesome to like go to one of these things and just be able to like play these games for the first time before anybody else would? Because granted, this was in May of 2001. We wouldn't get this until November. So another 6 months before the public would even see this. Yeah. There's Melee. We're going to be watching a lot of Melee footage today as well, too. I really hope that somebody finds a prototype of Melee. I would definitely want to explore a Smash Brothers prototype, whether it be Melee or 64. If there even is a 64 prototype. Don't you just love to see non-competitive Just regular ass casual Melee, because you just don't see that anymore. I honestly haven't played like a regular game of Melee with items in years. That's because nobody lets me. And I really think that it really feels like Star Fox Adventures is kind of like an overhyped game. Almost like Perfect Dark Zero that Rare did for the 360, because that definitely undersold on the 360. Undersold on the 360. Like, people hyped Perfect Dark Zero up so much, and it underperformed. I feel like the only reason why I would have bought that is if they were out of stock on COD 2. 360 had a bunch of first-person shooters at launch, too. This game was at E3 the previous year, but it was just under the name Dinosaur Planet, and it was on N64. Here's Wave Race. Wonder if any of my friends would like this. Not that I've ever checked. Does Wave Race 64 have 4-player multiplayer, or is it just 2? And if it's 4, I'm willing to bet the frame rate is awful. All in all, I'd say the GameCube did have a pretty good lineup. Oh, there's the Pokemon card e-reader. Oh wow, so they were showing off the e-reader already? Yeah, here's the Gameboy Advance. I don't know why I keep showing this. But yeah, here's the Game Link cable. And take a close look at these Game Link cables, especially for the GameCube. As he's viewing this here. Take a look at like how big the adapter is for this game, for this one here, and take a look at how small it is there. So that must be like a prototype design. That is it's only just a small little bit of an adapter, like right here. Meanwhile, like the final design was like this big chunk thing. Okay, so they had like all these panels here. Ooh, the Panasonic Q. Which, did we get the Panasonic Q here? And I want to say no. I think it was only released in, like, Asian countries. I don't think we got the Panasonic Q here. Modem adapter, bonded adapter. Of course, the big game, Luigi's Mansion, with coins? Well, yeah, there were coins, but again, that's probably a beta HUD font. Man, I can't wait to play Luigi's Mansion. After we do Billy Hatcher and Wario World, Luigi's Mansion is going to be our third game we play. I already have like the first 4 or 5 games lined up that we're going to play. And special thanks to whoever this guy was that knew, or I didn't know if he knew at the time that like this would be rewatched, but like special thanks to this guy for going to E3 and hopefully getting the permission to record all this so that future generations would know, i.e. me, future generations would know to do this. Yeah, there's the Game Boy Advance as they were showing off on the side. I feel like the GameCube kind of got more more showing at this show than the Game Boy Advance. Even though the Game Boy Advance released first. So, there's Wario Land 4, there's Mario Kart Super Circuit, which I don't know how I still haven't played. I want to say Super Circuit is, like, besides Pokemon, one of the best-selling Game Boy Advance games. Which is adding even more insult to injury, considering I've still never played it. I wonder what they're playing these on if the Game Boy player wouldn't be released until, like, 2003. How are they playing these on the screen? Unless it's through that N64 adapter thing. Or if they just made specialized console versions of these. I've heard a lot of F-Zero games on Game Boy Advance. Especially that last one that was only in Japan, that was only released in Japan. You guys remember the F-Zero anime? 'Cause I don't. Oh, that's the end of that. So yeah, let's just kind of like what was going on at the floor of E3 2001. So this next video is big. This was Nintendo's press conference at E3 2001, and there's extended versions of this video, and there's multiple uploads of this, but this is kind of just like the basic video. This is the first time, or like, yeah, this is what I believe is the first time that the GameCube and its games were revealed to the public. So there's, so I believe that's Satoru Iwata, right? I love it when, because Japanese is not their native language, or no, because English is not their native language, like their Japanese English is like clearly showing. Like their English is clearly showing.
Just as importantly, we create and expand the world's most popular video game characters and franchises. Mario and Zelda and Donkey Kong.
That stock image of Pikachu.
Yes, Pokemon. Are entertainment names known around the world. Here, the Nintendo difference is obvious. If you want these stars, you simply cannot have them unless you own the Nintendo machine. The final leg is heritage. This year, we are introducing our fourth Nintendo home console, and every one of them has succeeded around the world. And of course, Game Boy has outsold any other game machines ever.
That being said, the GameCube was one of the worst-selling Nintendo systems there was,
We know more about what makes
even in the 6th generation. Like, it didn't even sell more than the Xbox.
This is why Nintendo succeeds. This is the Nintendo difference.
At least it didn't set. At least the Wii U, or at least it sold more than the Wii U.
Entertainment company. But we are working to become the best entertainment company anywhere. And to introduce you to what is unquestionably the best pure video game console ever developed.
Council.
I have the honor of introducing the world's best pure video game creator. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Nintendo's own Shigeru
Miyamoto. So this entire press conference, and yep, there he is. There he is, boys. He's got the system. He's got the system, and he's got the game. Oh, Wavebird. He's got a Wavebird. Right here. Right here, boys.
Let me introduce you to a new baby. Like all babies, it's small. It will make a lot of noise.
Had it back then, you still have it now, Miyamoto.
Please allow me to welcome Mr. Bill Toynen from Nintendo of America.
Bill Sherman? Yeah, not like a Dreamcast, which sounds like a fucking lawnmower.
我々この GameCube で within Nintendo どんなキャラクター We've had a lot of discussion about which one was popular character should be ready to appear in games.
Oh, here it comes. You guys ready for this?
We think we've got a great answer. Take a look.
Here we go. New Smash, boys! Oh my god, Ridley's in Smash! See, they were cheering. They wanted Ridley all along. Yeah, Ice Climbers. That one guy recognized the Ice Climbers. Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask were new at this time. Isn't that one of the greatest reveal trailers ever? And their reactions to it? Like, just the fact that... my god. Just the fact that, like, nobody was expecting this. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the reactions that they do at, like, the Nintendo store in New York. But, like, I constantly go back to this one video, and just people's first reactions to Melee are absolutely timeless. Like, I will watch this over and over again, and the feeling will still stay mutual. As to, like, oh my god, I can't believe we're getting a new Smash on a new game, like, on a new system. Like, just mere less than 2 months, or no, less than 2 years after we got the last one. Because if you've seen the development for the GameCube Smash, it was pure hell on Sakurai. Like, he worked day and night and almost killed himself for 13 months just to put this out. And it still retains as one of the best games and still the most played to this day, 20 years later. That's how much the legacy means, not only to the GameCube, not only to Melee, but, like, to Nintendo's legacy and Sakurai's work for this game all this time later. Unbelievable. And not only that people would be able to play this game, or at least play a demo of this game later that day. Like, for now that we get, like, all these Smash reveals and trailers, we probably, or, like, when Smash Ultimate and stuff would come out, we wouldn't be able to play that until much later, unless, I guess, a demo of that released on the Switch later on. Here, it was like, you're at the event, you've seen this game, now go and fucking play it! If I was at E301 at this time, I wouldn't even care about, like, what the hell else the rest of the stuff was. Granted, I might take a look at the Xbox, but, like, I would spend literally all day just at the Nintendo booth playing Melee. I guess by this time people finally knew what Earthbound was. Yeah, this is when Bowser was a newcomer to the game. Yeah, people were clapping for Samus because it's been 7 years since we saw a new Metroid anything. And the last thing that we saw was Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. We missed out on Metroid on N64. So people were craving for a new Metroid anything. I absolutely loved their reaction that they thought Ridley was in Smash. Yeah, people are making fun of it. Yeah, that Ice Climber represent. Oh, the seals. And I wish I was there to see it for myself.
Nearly all of Nintendo's popular characters have been vividly brought to life on Nintendo GameCube. You've seen Super Smash Brothers here. Tomorrow you can actually play it on the show floor.
Thank you. I wouldn't even want to wait till tomorrow. I want to play it now.
It's the kind that you can play with your friends and your family. Now we're going to take a quick glance at our next game. It's the next in the Mario series.
Or is it? Or... I'll be honest, I feel like a lot of people were kind of disappointed that this was like the next Mario game because we were kind of expecting something like Sunshine, which I guess we would later get, but like this was something that, you know, we didn't know we wanted or needed. But you know what, Nintendo's like that sometimes. They just kind of give us something out of the blue that we just never expect. Yeah, they're expecting a 64 sequel with rumors of that happening on the 64 disk drive. Random meat dad. Yeah, he's a Ghostbuster. I wonder how much fan art of, like, Luigi as a Ghostbuster was made during this time. Oh no, Luigi's dead. You know how many times I see that image of Luigi, like, quote-unquote being dead in a creepypasta? Oh my god, what a great reveal. Like, the crowd reactions just absolutely make up, like, the atmosphere of that. You guys want to see that Luigi's Mansion trailer again? Let's watch that again. What's going on? There it is in high definition. Wow. I don't remember that being in the game. Like, the music sounds a little bit different, doesn't it? I mean, obviously it's gonna sound different because it's a beta. Like, you can tell this is different because of, like, this part's different. This clock wasn't here in the final game. Yeah, it wasn't fully finished. I don't know, where do people even get this archive footage stuff? Oh, he doesn't have the flashlight there. He has the flashlight in the final game. So I'm assuming this light goes off whenever like there's a ghost nearby, instead of when like they used it when in the final game, like when the booze got released and you had to go find the booze, and it blinks faster the closer you are to a boo. Dun, 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 dun. I wonder if this was stuck in people's heads all day when they saw it. Why did they show this? Like, did this kind of creep people out during the time? Like, again, I've seen so many creepypastas that just have this image of Luigi, quote-unquote, like, being dead or whatever. It's like, did Luigi actually die during Luigi's Mansion? Here's a game theory about it. Like, why did they show it like that? I think that was supposed to be, like, a prototype game over screen. But, like, good lord, Nintendo, that's just creepy, man. Still got a little bit more of Luigi's Mansion footage to show. So I just recently found this as well too. So this is just beta footage and gameplay of it.
It's Luigi's first game, solely for his own, and he actually is the one that gets
Mario's
to save
missing.
the day here. He inherited this mansion, him and Mario, and
It's
he goes
different
to meet up
music.
with Mario at the mansion, but finds out that Mario is missing, and that the mansion's all
Yeah,
haunted.
Mario's missing.
He needs to rid it of its ghosts and goblins in order to save Mario. And we'll see he's approaching the mansion here. The artwork and the textures of this game are just awesome. Luigi's facial expressions change throughout, as well as the biggest effect here is the real-time lighting that you can see through his flashlight. Also in this game, we use both the analog joysticks.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem that I had with Luigi's Mansion, is I didn't like the controls all that much. I wasn't used to it. I'm probably not going to get used to it again, even if I play it.
Very detailed. We're gonna go up the stairs here.
I really hope that a prototype build of this exists somewhere, and that somebody can find it and dump it, because I will play this.
14 rooms here. I've heard that they're gonna have around 70 when it's ready to be launched. So I'm sure there's still some stuff they're working on to make it a better game than we have right now. Whoa! I'm not sure, but what you do, you stun the ghost by flashing your flashlight on them, and that'll stop them.
I wasn't really that good at catching ghosts either last time I played, because like, as soon as I flashed the light on them, they just disappeared. And I never really had like that split second to catch them. Like I said, the controls and mechanics took me a while to get used to. I might be better now.
You want to obviously collect them. So what I've done here, I've cleaned the room of all the ghosts.
Oh, no chest, just give you the key.
You know, you want to live here, actually. And it gives us the key that we can now go into other
Oh,
rooms.
beta chest.
And you'll notice here, this is a good example of some of the
Oh,
technology.
no peace sign. Who does?
Translucent walls. So you can see that there's a door there, but we're looking through the door. As I pull away from this door, he goes away. As I get closer, he reappears, go outside, switches to the next room.
So it's a light vacuum cleaner. Does it do anything else?
No, not yet. It sucks up the ghosts and allows us to continue on to the next levels.
A Hoover light vacuum.
That's right. That's pretty funny. Notice the smoothness of the graphics here. We got.
That's a cutscene, right?
That's the little cutscene, yeah. Let's see here. What's something else cool to show them, Alan?
Yeah, these two rooms, right? This one, he's got the long one.
Oh, that's right. So there's some more difficult ghosts to get here. You know, with all Mario games, there's a level of easiness at the beginning as they progressively get more difficult. This one takes a little, you know, playing a little bit.
Oh, they just have the booze out already.
Comes on. Oh. Well, we'll start over here on that one. I'll show you what I mean. You can suck up these little ghosts, just like that, and they can knock down your health meter. But this gentleman here in this chair, when you look at him, he comes when you're not looking, you shine it back on. Oh, he's not really there. And the trick is to get him when he's yawning.
Ah, need to remember that.
Yawning when he's stuck in here. Oh, did he yawn? Yeah, get up. There we go. You see the heart? Start sucking him in.
What does the heart mean?
It just means you scared him. You caught him. And again, I freed the room.
Golden.
And then collect the coins.
I wonder what the coins did in the beta version of this
That's
game.
pretty much Luigi's Mansion.
Alright. But yeah, early footage of Luigi's Mansion. Again, I'm really hoping that somebody finds a prototype of that. Okay, so this next one is from, I guess this magazine that was called Hyper Magazine, and here are these guys out at the E3 booth as well. So these guys went out and showed their time out at the E3 booth. God, it looks like so much fun. Why are the best parties that I want to go to the ones that happened like 20 years ago? Not to mention, it's kind of surreal to see this without any social distancing or anybody with masks on. Granted, it was 20 years before any of this ever happened, but like... Yeah, when E3 was still relevant. You know, when the internet was not you know, the main focus of things, when Nintendo Power was still going strong. Nowadays, like, we don't even need to look at E3 anymore. Kind of just get our news on the fly. I thought after the last E3 got canceled, I thought that would just be the end of that. Really didn't think, like, after not only E3, but Anime Expo got canceled, that would kind of just sink out the deposits for any future endeavors. It's Melee. We're gonna look at that next. There's that Gameboy Advance table at the back. How did they get this set up? Oh, there's Pikmin. That's that? Okay. Alright, so the next thing, like I said, we're going to look at, just kind of off-the-screen footage of, actually, before that, let's look at the, Wario Animatronic.
My name's Wario.
Yeah, so there is, yeah, there's that Wario Animatronic that was at the, yeah, see? It's right there. So that's that Wario Animatronic that I was talking about earlier. They had this on for a couple years. And and I believe it was like always voiced by Charles Martinet, but like the voice kind of like changed a little bit over time. I don't know like when they got rid of this. There's like a whole read up for this that I haven't taken like a full look at. But if you guys want to check it out, like look at like these animatronics or like these puppets for both Wario and Mario. I guess Wario was like the main prevalent one. Which is weird because we wouldn't see Wario in a GameCube game for a while, not until either Mario Party 4 or Wario World. So, anyways, back to Melee. Mario and Kirby having a Pokemon battle. This kind of reminds me of the intro scene from Subspace Emissary when Mario and Kirby are fighting. Also kind of hard to think that at the time of this game's release, Gen 2 was still the newest generation. Like, Gen 3 wouldn't come out in Japan for almost a year after. He just gets crushed. I wonder exactly how much of Melee's development did they get at this time, because again, it was in development for a while, albeit hard crunch times. Like, I wonder how far in development of Melee did they have ready for E3? And also, mind you, Melee wasn't out exactly at the GameCube launch. Not in Japan or the US. Like, in Japan, it didn't come out until like 2 months after the GameCube launch, and we didn't get it in North America until like, I want to say like 2 weeks after. So it's still in the launch window, but like not exactly at launch. So we kind of had to suck it up with Luigi's Mansion and Pikmin and Wave Race Blue Storm. I mean, not to downplay the launch. The launch was fantastic for what there was. Do you know the GameCube only launched in Japan with only 3 games? What I recall, the 3 games that launched in Japan for the GameCube were Luigi's Mansion, Wave Race Blue Storm, and Super Monkey Ball. And that's still more games than what they launched with the N64. At least here. The N64 launch in North America kind of sucked, I'll say the least. Oh, can you ride? Would you be able to ride Yoshi? Or no? So it's all just early footage. It goes on for, God, 10 minutes? I mean, most of this is stuff that you've probably already seen, so I guess we can probably just move on. So, next one is interesting. Let me go get something real quick. So, next one is interesting. So, as we all know, Cameo Elements of Power released on Xbox 360 after Rare got bought out by Microsoft. I honestly didn't realize it was in development for this long. So here it is on GameCube. If anybody knows where the hell Cameo of Elements of Power is on GameCube, let me know. I've never played this game. I pretty much only got it on 360 just because it was a launch title. You still hear Melee in the background. Yeah, can you guys hear Melee in the background? Must have been like right next to it. I wonder what was a bigger game to be like unveiled at E3. Was it Luigi's Mansion or Melee? Probably Melee. And go figure that they're playing on Corneria. The ones like one of like 3 stages that my brother constantly played on when we played Melee as a kid. We played on Corneria and we played on Temple. A lot. Oh, I think I hear Phantasy Star Online. You guys hear that? Listen really closely. Yeah, somebody's playing Phantasy Star Online in the background. That's cool. I mean, Phantasy Star Online just released in North America in this year, so it was new. It was a new game. I think they were probably just getting ready for version 2 on Dreamcast as well. Again, Sega had a booth here, but it was like their last one that they showed. I know nothing about Cameo Elements of Power, so I don't know what's the difference between what I'm being shown here and what I'm seeing in the final game here. All right. How even is Cameo Elements of Power? Is it a good game? Is it overrated? Is it underrated? I don't even remember how much I paid for this. Granted, they have the audacity to say only on Xbox 360. Yeah, I have no idea. Was it in the Rare Replay set? So I wonder how much. I want to say, I don't know. I don't know anything about this game. So I also want to ask. Okay, so that's the end of it. Well, there's another video we could watch if there's any more of it. So I wonder how much of this game, I wonder how much development time was determined between Star Fox Adventures Dinosaur Planet and this game, if both were kind of being worked at the same time. Watch a little bit more of this. So I don't know what this game's about. I don't know. Maybe when I do an Xbox 360 retrospective, which I probably should have done for the 15th anniversary, but whatever. And I can see, up here, I can see Star Fox Adventures in the background, too. And hear Melee. If I ever do 360 launch games, which, again, the best 360 launch games you want to check out besides COD 2, AMP 3. AMP 3 is a really good one that you guys should check out. I loved AMP 3. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland was pretty decent. Quake 4 was okay, it's just kind of a little bit buggy. And it lags a lot. So. But yeah, I hate to say it, Perfect Dark Zero is a well underperforming game. I want to try it for its multiplayer, but if I care more about this game, then I'll look more into the for the N64. Wait, so this was in development for N64 as well? How far back in development does this game go? N64, GameCube, Xbox 360. So they worked on this shortly after Rare finished work on Donkey Kong 64. So this game was in development for 6 years? Fuck! What the hell is this game? I might have to check this out someday. I mean, I'm glad that I own it, but like, what am I holding here? What is this mythological beast from Rare that I am not only seeing, but like, holding? I want to see what this game looks like. If there's any footage of the N64 version, I'd love to see it. You guys want to move on? Let's move on. Okay, back to actual GameCube games. Man. Rogue Squadron 2. Rogue Leader. So, Rogue Squadron was a pretty decent game on N64. And I'll even go as far to say the 6th generation of gaming had the best Star Wars games. Like, the ones before it were hit or miss. Some were good, some were bad. But during the 6th gen is when they really nailed them down. And especially on the Xbox. Like, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Republic Commando, this game, Lego Star Wars. There's just, no pun intended, a galaxy of great Star Wars games released during this time. Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the one that I grew up playing. Soul Calibur 4, yeah, with Yoda and Vader. I've only played a little bit of Rogue Squadron. Granted, I do own it on the N64 in the box, complete in the box, and it's in really good condition as well. I shouldn't keep it in the bins behind me, but I paid pretty cheap for it. I think I only paid like $20 for it. So I got a steal for it. But yeah. Like, as good as Rogue Squadron was on N64, I felt like it definitely improved over itself on the GameCube. Now, was this a game that people were so excited to get a GameCube for solely for this game? I probably wouldn't say that. Wow, I can still hear Melee in the background. They really fucking loved Melee back in E301, didn't they? Yeah, I'd love to give this game a good shot. And its follow-up, what's it called? Rebel Strike? But the multiplayer was pretty fun, and they added a lot more missions of what you could do, not just like fly around in X-wings and fighters. How many Star Wars games feature a trench run? If you want to play some really good Star Wars games that came before this, play the ones on PC. X-Wing, TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, Dark Forces. Oh yeah, another one, Jedi Knight and Jedi Knight 2 came out during this time. Yeah, the Star Wars games on PC in the late 90s were pretty underlooked. Not to mention, we were dead in the middle of the prequel series. Episode 2 would come out the next year. So... God, what a disaster Episode 2 was. Like, the only good thing to come out of that was the Clone Wars game. Two more videos of Rogue Squadron. You guys still liking the show? We're getting through these a little bit fast. I've got about 2 hours worth of archival footage, and we're through an hour and a half. Well, I might have talked a little bit, but we still got like, let's say 45 minutes left. A little over 45 minutes. They must have had Melee at every other booth, because I keep fucking hearing Melee. And we need more GameCube prototypes, because all the prototypes that I'm seeing from Hidden Palace are just PlayStation 2 stuff. The PlayStation 2, I saw some Saturn stuff, they somehow dumped CDI, I don't know how they managed to find those. But like, there's very little that I found in GameCube prototypes. A lot of Sonic prototypes for the GameCube, though, I'll say that. A lot of Sonic Heroes prototypes. Again, if you're looking for these videos, I can send a text file that has all the videos linked that I'm showing today. Plus, they're up on the archive.org site as well. Most of them are. There's one video which is it after? Okay, so it's after the next Rogue Squadron one. That's part of kind of like a long set documentary. That I'm not going to show that entire documentary set, but it just basically shows like these other guys on the Nintendo floor as well. Okay. To watch that one too. It's not about an hour long. Yeah, here's a 4-hour video of E301. I'm not gonna bore you guys for 4 hours with the same stuff. Bore you guys for 45 more minutes.
From the previous movies and just implemented them into this hangar here. We got the new
So I believe this is the guy who was playing the Luigi's Mansion earlier before. They had the Buick sedan in this game because I that's the one thing that I loved in Rogue Squadron and N64 was the hidden Buick that you could drive around in space, and the Naboo Starfighter. If they brought back that Buick, that would have been awesome.
The yellow there is your primary target.
Keep those fighters off our backs.
You see here, you'll see the little TIE fighters in purple. And then the yellow that's the deflector shields that I need to destroy. There's some engines. Let's see if we can't get close to some of these TIE fighters. Check out how real they look from behind.
To think that we thought this was realistic back in the day. And we're gonna say that about every generation. It's like, this looks so realistic. And then we go to the next generation and it's like, what were we thinking beforehand? We were saying that about the N64 too. And like, nowadays, it's like, when are we gonna get to that point where, if we're not at that point already, where games look so realistic that just basically are realistic, without it just looking straight up like an FMV cutscene? I mean, there's games like Beyond Two Souls and The Last of Us that have like the digitized actors as their models. I didn't know I needed a digitized Willem Dafoe so bad. Okay, so this next video is part of that documentary that I was watching. So this is like a 7 or 8 part documentary of these guys who went to E301, and they checked out all the other stuff at E301, but here's like the main part of when they were down at the Nintendo floor. But like this first part is like when they were at their hotel. So this is Planet GameCube who did this, and they have their entire stuff up on the archive.org site as well.
At the hotel, there's their old friend Lou and Weeby. Hotel. There's Rick. Okay, my room's like up there somewhere. So Chaser's in there. And
Hard to believe this was 2001.
Now right here we've got Billy's room, and we have a punk kid sneaking
Comfort
into
in.
the show. In here we've got some of the Planet GameCube gang. There's Madman Max Lake.
Hello, I am Matt.
There's our buddy Ed, J-Dub,
Yeah.
and Billy P.
I mean, for sure, I would have brought my N64 for
Check
this.
this out. There's like no door on the bathroom. Not only that, there's like a huge mirror in there.
Mike was like, no, what is it?
Hey, there's Jay Linderman over there.
How was your GameCube experience?
Right, and over there we've got Breaky Boy, got Andres. Oh,
Yeah, this is great.
Steve Trammell. There's Rick again.
I already drank mine.
Max the Drunken Maniac.
You can learn to do a lot of cool things when life is on the cheap, you know?
Yeah.
So, man.
Hey, yo.
And I hope these guys are still alive.
This would be.
I hope these guys are still around doing stuff together.
That will remain anonymous.
Anonymous, being
Anonymous. And he's
That
gonna make
old
fun of
AOL
someone
Instant
that ripped on our
Messenger.
website last night.
Excellent.
So we're just sharing the love here at Planet GameCube.
Yeah.
Zip drives.
This is Max Lake, here with Michael Cole.
Hello.
Younger plumber.
Let's go.
Yeah, we're here at the LA Convention Center. We're on a secret mission to try to get Mike back into the convention center, and wish us luck.
Okay.
What, did they not pay for it? They just sneak in the back?
Okay, we are just outside the press center, and look what the younger plumber is wearing. We got him in.
Underage guest.
Clout.
Pretty good.
So now we're gonna go check things out, and we're gonna go meet Dennis.
This guy with an Xbox bag in the back.
So
He's a Louis fan.
let's go. Cops.
I wonder exactly what it took to get into this.
Call the cops.
Yeah, why are the cops here? I mean, why wouldn't they be here? Like, are the cops enjoying this? Oh man, they're playing Barbie Girl in the background.
Plumber who's not supposed to be here. Max Lake again.
No, you're supposed to be here.
Oh no.
Let's not brag anymore. Let's go see Nintendo. This is
Oh man. This is a booth that I've shown you a couple times before. And wow, they're actually playing something that isn't Melee music. God, look at all this PlayStation 2 over there. Who gives a shit about that, though? This is GameCube, baby. It's GameCube, man. It's the real man's console. Melee bitches. They're talking about that Game Boy Advance circle table. Real legend. They did show that. They did show that in a had a buddy that had one. They actually did show that in one of these earlier videos. And I was asking, did they actually release that in North America, or was that like released in Asian countries only? But that was on display at one of these things with the Game Boy Advance and the cables. Just Asian territories. Okay. Why would they bring it here then? There were region-free mods, of course. I mean, you know what? You know why I'm showing you guys all this, right? Because like right after this, the next stream that we're doing, we're building the GameCube with the GC loader. I've got the GC loader, and I'm just waiting on the SD card mount, and we're building this fucking thing. That's up next after this. So that's kind of the reason why I did all this, just to genuflect and reflect on where the GameCube came from and people's reactions to it. It's like the setup that I'm doing for this is like almost gonna be something like I'm playing these GameCube games for the first time, because it's gonna feel like I'm playing this for the first time. That's what I felt like when I put the Terra Onion mode in the. Oh, that's a different Melee screen. Hold on, go back to that. Yeah, that's a little bit different. It wasn't set up like that, so. I mean, that's an early version of Melee that I want to find, like, with only just those characters, but it wasn't always set up like that. Okay.
This is Dennis Dyack and playing a GameCube. Hi, Dennis. How are you?
Dennis Dyack.
Pretty good.
There's all these other guys who are E3. Harry Potter. Yeah, the Harry Potter movies I think were new at the time. They had a shit ton of Harry Potter games too. There's Game Boy Advance again. We're gonna get to Game Boy Advance someday. It's just a matter of whenever I get the Game Boy player and whenever Game Boy Advance Everdrives come back in stock. When the Game Boy Advance Overdrive comes back in stock, I'll order one. Even if I don't have the Game Boy player, I just kind of want to have it on hand. What is Stuntman? We're kind of reaching the third-party territory. Or is that, 1080? I think it's Stuntman. Models. Ooh, NBA Street. I played Street Volume 2. The one I want to play is Street 3 that has the Mario characters. Like, you can play as Mario, Peach, and Luigi in Street 3, only on GameCube. And I think you could also do that in SSX. It's either Tricky or On Tour, and I want to say it's On Tour. Yeah, I was in SSX. illegal sexual activities. And of course, the EA Sports games. Which, ironically, most of those games didn't even come out on GameCube. They were PS2 and Xbox only. Yep, here's Xbox. See, so many good Star Wars games. Okay, Obi-Wan's not the best Star Wars game. And neither was Starfighter, but like... Who's this guy? If the system's so good, what's above the frame rate? Oh man. I'm gonna clip that. What's above the Okay, actually, I need to go to the bathroom because the next video is like 24 minutes. But, you know what? Get up, stretch. It's been a fun day, but you know we still got like 45, like 40 more minutes worth of this stuff that we need to get through. Okay, so I will be right back. Okay, here we are. Where were we? Okay, so this next video is actually part of a TV show, but it's been so long since it's aired, I doubt that anybody's gonna care for copyright claims. Not that I care at all. So this is like, I guess, is this show actually real? Hold on, let me check. Okay, so this was a show that's, I guess was on G4, right? G4 Canada, but it was on G4. It's called the Electric Playground, or as it was known, also is known as EP Daily. And this debuted in 1997, ran all the way till 2015. And in 2001, they did a special on E3 2001. So for the next 24 minutes, we're going to cringe at whatever the hell G4 pumped out back then. All right, you guys ready for this? Be warned, this might be cringy.
Welcome to Los Angeles, California.
We're at the biggest video game trade show on the planet.
It's the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Just call it E3.
Come on, we gotta go. Come on, let's go. Let's
Yeah, it's already bad. It's already bad.
Take you to the Electronic Entertainment Exposition for a look at the hottest games of 2001.
See if I can
take you behind the scenes on the new Tomb Raider movie.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. That's better, right?
Tommy and I take our reviews to Hollywood, California.
Alright. Need ultimate gamer fuel for this. The Electric Playground. So I'm assuming this is sort of like X-Play or Attack of the Show or one of those shows. With Tommy Tallarico. Okay, this might redeem itself. A bunch of these no-name actors in a prototype X-Play. Oh, you've heard of this show? Of course you have, you're 20 years older than me.
Because it was the first time the GameCube and Xbox had playable software on display. The first thing we took a look at was the lineup for the Microsoft Xbox.
Okay, I guess we'll watch all of this, but you know what?
December the 8th, in the North American market, you'll be able to go into retail stores.
November 15th, close enough.
Like with Xbox in it.
Why the Xbox and not the PlayStation 2?
The reason for that is the hardware itself. The Xbox has a hard drive, has more RAM, so it gives us more possibilities to make bigger worlds for the platforms. And we wanted to have
I hear that music in every Star Wars thing ever. Shrek's Box!
Working on Shrek.
We exploit the
Yeah, Shrek's Box, baby!
as good as the DVD is going to look on your TV at home. That's our goal with this game.
Never really has there been enough computing power or enough technology to do it. But now we're in a position where we've got a pretty cool computer.
I got Shrek's Box, baby!
Every person is simulated, every town, even down to...
Oh, is this Fable?
When he set out to design the
Wow, a game I've never heard of.
really massive and took full advantage of the Xbox.
Yeah, man, forget about Halo. This was the real killer app for the Xbox launch.
7,000 polys. When he runs around, all of his stuff moves and reacts to the environment.
He has 7,000 polys.
Yes.
Just one character.
Just that character has 7,000 polys.
Wow.
Amped. Like I said, Amp 3 was a really good one for the 360.
So you're riding around and there's deep powder.
Right.
If you're a little sick of the powder and you want to go...
I do have all the Amp games.
Or you want to do jumps, you cut off onto the hard pack. 12,000 trees, the buildings with real-time reflections on the glass.
So these are games that are definitely underappreciated. You guys should check out the Amp series.
Realism across to the players can only be done with the Xbox.
One of the hottest stories of E3 this year
Konami.
was the Nintendo GameCube. This was the first time that North American game players were able
Yep.
to see the system
There we go.
and play some of its games.
To introduce you to what is unquestionably the best
Peter
pure
Main.
video game console.
Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, Shigeru
Yep,
Miyamoto.
there he is.
Let me introduce you to our new baby. Like all babies,
November 19th, but close enough.
but
18th or
lots
19th.
of noise.
Favors.
The graphics on this is amazing. The water looks so real.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, when you're racing in one of the rain levels,
They always talk about the graphics. It's like the graphics are the best I've ever seen. Yeah, he said that about the Dreamcast.
If the character character from behind. You can
And
see
then
the
this
little
came
ripples
out
of the
like
race.
2 years
Very
later.
impressive.
I mean,
This one's called Cameo. It's a new game from Rare. It's kind of what happens when you mix Zelda with Pokemon.
what?
Very impressive.
This one's called Cameo. It's a new game from Rare. It's kind of what happens when you mix Zelda with Pokemon.
This game is what happens when you mix Zelda with Pokemon. First you had my curiosity, now you just have my full-blown interest, man. I need to check out this game at some point. And what the hell happened with it after 6 years?
Here's a quick look at Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. Now, this is the first time that Luigi is actually the hero, and he's got to save his brother Mario.
Second time, but we don't talk about the first time.
Rogue Squadron, check this out. It was one of my favorite games on N64, but this is totally different. I'm on the
Not really.
right now. Look at all this laser fire.
How many Star Wars games have you blown up the Death Star anyways?
Yes, Pikmin is a new game that I've been working on. Lately, I have been into gardening at my house and learned quite a lot from the experience of making up my garden.
Is that why he made Pikmin?
So I came up with the idea of Pikmin, a kind of half animal, half plant, which inherits the characteristics of a plant or flower, and you can give instructions to hundreds of Pikmin.
With The Rock.
I understand on good authority that you're a pretty big fan of video games.
Yeah, big fan of video games. What do you have in mind? Did you bring me any video games today?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry, man.
You guys have seen that video where Rock shows off the Xbox, right?
Returns video game, do you know?
Mummy Returns.
The Mummy Returns.
I have that on VHS. I have the Mummy and the Mummy Returns on VHS.
Good guy, you need that really, really bad guy.
Are you gonna do any motion capture for the game at all?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I've done so many of that with obviously all the WWF games we put out. So yeah, I'd be glad to. It'd be great. What I really want to do is I want to get The Rock, contemporary Rock, facing the Scorpion King.
So who would win in that fight?
The Rock versus the Scorpion King.
The Rock kicks ass like nobody else, contemporary. The Scorpion King kicked ass like nobody then, 3000 BC. One way or the other, somebody's getting their ass kicked.
Up next, we head back to E3 for the PlayStation 2 and PC.
And Dreamcast?
Microsoft and Nintendo didn't steal all the limelight this year. The second-generation PlayStation 2 games looked amazing.
We continue.
Wow, I don't. Ooh, Kazro! Kazro!
That is compelling, that is entertaining, and that is exciting and fresh to the consumer.
Okay, this guy can sell me on a PS2. GTA 3.
Game was based on watching too many American movies and watching all that overhead helicopter chase footage, which was the only camera we could use
GTA 3.
on the old hardware. But
Have we found a prototype for GTA 3 yet?
And that's what we've done this time.
Agent Under Fire.
Know what James Bond can do in this game? Can he shoot?
James Bond can shoot.
Can he drive?
James Bond can drive.
Can he pick up women?
James Bond always picks up women.
Yes!
What can't James Bond do? Batman Vengeance, also on GameCube at launch.
Batman hasn't always had the best proper treatment in video games.
Better than the shit game that I played.
Major fans as well, something they can really get into.
You know the one.
It's a riot game. 200 people running around. 5 prisoners.
I heard this game was really bad.
Nearly 1,000 bodies each. Then we have 3 levels of detail. They've got dynamic culling on the special effects. There's at least 5
Over
buildings
100.
that are destructible. Pick up all the objects in the street. You have to rocket
Oh, so it's like Dead Rising. This is what my brother got a GameCube for.
Absolutely. We're the first ever sports game with a 3D crowd. When there's a big hit near the glass, the crowd will bang on the glass. If there's a goal, they'll start throwing their hats on the ice. And if it's a bad game, they'll get up and walk out.
And Final Fantasy, which I honestly couldn't give a shit about.
Oh,
funny. I don't even have Hitso 2 on PS2. I just have it on GameCube and Xbox. And my GameCube copy is signed by the Tim Kitzrow. It is.
Mr. Sakaguchi, who's the creator of the Final Fantasy series, planned this out
Final
as
Fantasy
a
movie.
Hollywood feature film.
Do I have to go? You guys want to watch it? You guys want to watch it someday? You guys want to watch this trashterpiece? Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, you want it. I know you do. I still have the first Tomb Raider movie on VHS. I don't have Cradle of Life. I just have the first one. And I need to get the Resident Evil movies. I need to get the first two on VHS.
Although E3 2001 was considered the year of the console, there were also lots of incredible new games on display.
Yeah, what exactly could they have on PC?
Talk to me about Battle Realms. What's this game all about?
Battle Realms is a real-time strategy game set in a fantasy universe. We're doing a lot of things
Done.
in strategy. We have the effects of height in the game. We have the effects of hiding in forests. Fire is a growing and living, breathing thing in our game, which you actually have to put out. So things will actually make it so you have to spend more time on the battlefield and less time in your base producing your units.
Everybody at the E3 show is talking about this game. Max Payne.
Yeah.
Strong and deep story. We want action.
Now I'm woke.
It's about adrenaline. It's about realistic cinematic content. The tech is really up and beefed up, and we really wanted an engine that could do what we wanted it to do. And there wasn't one available at that point, so we've done it ourselves.
Basically, the massively multiplayer, huge game for people that have been scared away from those kinds of games in the past.
Right.
That's what you're looking for.
One of the major goals in the game is to make sure that even though it is massively multiplayer, that is true to the FPS market in general, meaning people don't need to pick up the
Okay,
manual.
FPS, I'll buy.
There's a lot of
Wow, the good Warcraft 3.
Forming to the terrain, effects that make the terrain warpable, rain effects. I mean, it's really obvious that we're taking full advantage of a very high-end 3D engine.
EverQuest.
Different with Shadows of Luckin that people haven't seen in EverQuest before.
Do you guys remember a game called Asheron's Call, by any chance? 'Cause I heard that was a big MMO at the time.
And the latest generation of video cards.
375.
The world, right? But they're going to see everything in a brand new light.
I think there was a couple people who were playing Asheron's Call as well.
2001. Did you have fun?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I thought Sega was amazing.
Jet Set Radio Future for Xbox from Sega.
Oh.
Second generation PlayStation 2 stuff was amazing.
Oh, the Nintendo booth, very impressive.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is the most amazing thing
Metal Gear
you'll
Solid
ever
2.
see. Gran Turismo 3 is absolutely realistic.
I liked Wave Race on the GameCube a lot, and I've been to 7 E3s. This was the best E3 show I've ever been to.
This was the 7v3 out.
Every year they get better.
This was the best E3 I've ever been to.
Is this the first E3 you've been to?
This is the first E3 I've ever been to.
We can't wait for E3 2002. There'll be second generation Xbox, second generation GameCube, third generation PlayStation 2.
Whatever system
And Dreamcast.
there's going to be lots of great stuff. That's the bottom line.
Please. Yeah, no. Dreamcast was dead. Everybody
What is
knew
the
it.
best-selling video game of all time?
Ooh. In 2001, what was the best-selling game? Was it Super Mario Brothers on the NES? 'Cause I think that was the best by 2006.
Difficult question to answer because video games weren't really tracked too well in the early 80s. We could say Super Mario because it sold with millions of Nintendo Entertainment Systems, but my guess would be Tetris because it
Yeah, either Mario or
so many different
Tetris.
platforms. It was packed in with the original Game Boy, and it may not have been the most money-making game of all time, but it's certainly probably the most widespread video game today.
If you have a question about the video game industry, visit our website at
I mean,
www.discovery.com.
I guess that's debatable.
This is The Rock from The Mummy Returns, and you're watching Electric Playground.
After this, EP talks with Angelina
Where's-
Jolie
where's
about
my-
the Tomb Raider movie.
You guys want to hear about the Tomb Raider movie? Let me go find those tapes. I've got them somewhere. Put your Xbox back. I gotta dig for these, but there's somewhere in here. One. Where on Earthbound? Yeah, now it's Minecraft. I thought it was GTA 5 for a while. But yeah, I don't have the second one, but I do have the first one. Tomb Raider. Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider. Yeah, so I got that. Got the original Mummy. And the Mummy Returns. Was The Rock in the Mummy, in the original Mummy, or was he just in Mummy Returns? But yeah, I've got Mummy Returns here. So yeah, go figure that I just have all these on file. All right, sorry for the delays.
I'm here with Gary Gaber, who is the director of
Gaber.
a brand new Star Wars real-time strategy game called Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds.
Galactic Battleground is
Galactic
a real-time
Battlegrounds.
strategy game, affectionately known as an RTS.
Oh, another one of these.
Civilizations as well as
Yeah, these games just put me to sleep.
So episode 4 stuff.
Episode 4, 5, and 6.
Now you guys went with like an isometric 2D engine this time as opposed to the 3D world.
Right.
Why did you choose
I just
that?
do not care for RTS
Recognizability
games.
of the units, look of the art. We wanted something that looked really, really beautiful, and we felt that 2D was what delivered it still.
What's unique about developing art for this game?
Well, everything needs to read really quickly. When you're scanning over the world, you need to be able to see, okay, that's my command center.
I don't think he was in
On
the
top of
original
that,
Mummy.
You need to be able to tell if it's Rebel, Empire, or any of the other civs. And then to tell what technology level they're at.
You guys watch
As
that.
a special
I'll put
treat,
these back.
LucasArts let us sit in on the Galactic Battlegrounds design meeting.
Jane, the man of the hour, our lead tester.
We've started crunching the numbers for balancing, kind of looking at all the units, making sure everything is balanced or is out of balance, and trying to get that feedback so we can change that as soon as possible, make those types of deadlines.
The other thing that we really wanted and why we went with the Genie engine from Ensemble was that we didn't want to keep having to develop formation technology or trails or things like that that all had to do with gameplay and art and story and, you know, taking it forward, but giving the players really a really cool Star Wars experience.
Now, are all of these units based on things we've seen in the movies before, or are you guys able to start creating your own stuff now?
Everything you saw on the ground in the movies is in this game. We also had to create lots and lots of new units that had never been seen, and we think this is a cool thing for the players.
Take us through some of these models that you have up on your screen here.
Sure. This is a Rebel trooper. He's a heavy trooper, as you can see. He's got a substantial weapon, and he's got a backpack and an ocular eyepiece. Here's one that everyone knows and loves. Here's the AT-AT. Here you can see this guy is a grenade trooper. Even though there is no grenade trooper in the Star Wars universe, you can look at the guy and believe that he's a Star Wars character. This is one
Sorry
of our
about that.
animators did
I just don't care for
any kind of
RTS games. I like Star Wars, but this is just not my genre.
No, I keep that in the closet for special occasions.
Meanwhile, back at the design meeting.
What we want to do is come up with sort of a box formation. Does somebody want to do the Rebels? Let's see if we can, how the formation works. That was.
Does this have to do with E3 2001 again?
It's an incoming X-Wing. So we can see we probably need to do a little more work on our formations, but thanks everybody, thanks for coming, and we'll see you all next week.
We're here at IDOS in downtown San Francisco, and we're going to talk about the Tomb Raider movie.
IDOS.
Now, this must be a pretty exciting time for you guys.
It is indeed.
How long has it taken to get Tomb Raider from the video game world into the movie world?
About 4 years, I guess, now.
What transpired along the way?
At that time, there wasn't a lot available.
And Saturn.
Lauren, who she was as a character.
Man, they are undercutting Sega here.
The game saying, I stand for this and I stand for that.
Guys, the Saturn happened. I know we don't want to remember it, but the Saturn happened.
She wanted to be and what she stood for. And that was sort of where we started with the studio.
And it was sort of a little bit like James Bond on the surface, and a little bit Indiana Jones underground, but
And it sucks that after like,
I could make it slightly
4
and so
Tomb Raider start to suck.
unlimited scope for me to just run riot with my imagination.
And then
So
by the time it got
that's
to
when I
PS2,
said, you know, I
like
wanna do Tomb
nobody
Raider.
wanted any part of Tomb Raider anymore.
How I was going to act this character. And Simon said, no, you have to become this person. And so I worked really hard to be able to jump in her world and her skin a bit.
Angelina Jolie is going to be forever known now as Lara Croft. Did you guys make the right choice with her?
Is she?
What I've seen, I saw her on set, acting,
Man.
etc. And man,
She's fantastic.
Two sequel
She is
contract.
I mean, she's
Didn't
got
they only
it
make
down.
one sequel though?
The accent, the mannerisms, everything. And she's amazing. She's absolutely the right choice.
I think if,
I
you're,
mean-
gonna, if you're gonna put the guns on and wear her name, then you better.
It's
give her
not the
back.
worst video game movie, but by no means is it the best.
I was completely home
It's
dry,
it's
and
passable.
my work was done for me, and all I had to do was point the camera at Angie, and there was Lara Croft.
It's not that far of a stretch for me in my imagination because I know women like this. I don't feel far from her. She's full of fun and fire and is certainly enjoying everything about.
I wonder if
it.
Angelina
She's
Jolie
winks,
actually
she's
ever
cute,
played the
she's
Tomb
silly,
Raider
and she's
games.
Just a bit naughty, which I love.
After this, Tommy and I head to Hollywood for reviews on the run.
We're talking about Toy Story Racer for the Game Boy Color. It's basically
Why?
a 3D kart racing game, which is pretty impressive considering it is on the Game Boy Color. You got your
I will say that the game, despite it looking like crap, it was pretty impressive for Game Boy Color standards.
The problem with this game is the controls. You know, it's really, really hard to steer your car. You push left and, you know, your thing flies.
Funny that
to
he's
the
playing it
left
on
and you're
Game Boy
flying
Advance
off
as
screen.
well.
You're literally struggling to play this game. The AI on the other characters is pretty non-existent. It comes down to this. You gotta have great gameplay in a small kart racing game like this, and that's what Toy Story Racer is lacking.
I thought there was a Toy Story Racer on PlayStation. Why is he on a cannon? What the? What the?
Reviews on the run is brought to you by Walmart. Let's talk about Super Bombad Racing for the PlayStation.
Let's not!
What'd you think?
Please!
Based on a
Let's
big
not!
You may have heard of it. Star Wars Episode 1.
It's just the same.
Of all the great Star Wars games you have to pick, why this?
But the thing that I really don't like about it is the fact that all the hits are cheap.
It has cheap AI.
What is
You can be at the
going
front of the
on
race and
here?
get hit by some cat at the back, and boom, all of a sudden you're in last place. It could have been a lot more attractive, and there could have been more stuff. There could have been more levels. There's only really about 8 or 9 different levels, but there's a lot of shortcuts and stuff like that you can race through.
But I mean,
and the multiplayer is a major disappointment
Well,
too.
the multiplayer slows down the frame rate,
It
plain
bogs
and
right
simple.
down. Bogs right
You know,
down.
that's not good. I give it a 4, plain and simple.
Wow, that's generous.
I had good cheesy fun with this. I was expecting to hate it. I didn't hate it. I kept playing and playing, and I enjoyed winning the races. 6 out of 10. But next time I
Really?
agree with you, though, they gave it a 4. Okay, let's talk about another sort of kart-style racing game. It's called Rumble Racing for the PS2 from EA. What'd you think?
Game that I've never heard of.
Realism, get Gran Turismo 3. Because
forget about this game.
Yeah, throw realism out the door, which is great, though, because that's what makes it fun.
Absolutely.
I think they only just showed that one first part of the E3, then like the rest of this is just what was out at the time.
And there's also
So I guess we're kind of taking a break from E3 then.
power-up I've ever seen. You actually get a tornado.
Tornado.
You get a tornado in this game. It's absolutely enormous, and it sucks up everything in its path.
The best thing, which I dare everyone to do, is when you get in this game, go into first-person view,
Oh my God.
and then start trying to do flips and backwards flips. Not only is it a game where you
I've
score
done that in a
points for
couple
stunts,
games.
though. That's just the stunt
Yes,
mode.
there's a stunt mode.
But there's also a tournament and racing mode,
Right.
and the multiplayer mode is really good.
And the tracks are really original. You're racing through desert towns. You're on the LA waterworks.
I mean, if I'm gonna play an early racing game on PlayStation 2, it's probably gonna be like ATV Off-Road Fury or something like that.
And so many different cars to unlock. We're not talking 8 or 10 cars here.
Maybe the
We're
original
talking
Midnight
loads
Club.
and loads of original, cool-looking cars and amazing tracks.
Totally value packed.
But the graphics weren't the greatest, though, were they?
No. They're a little bit grainy, and they're just not as polished as you'd like to see in a PlayStation 2. But you know what? I'll take a fast frame rate and lots of power-ups and crazy stunts and all kinds of jumps. I like this game a lot. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10.
I give it an 8.
All right, let's switch topics from racing completely. Let's talk about a real-time strategy game. It's called Fate of the
Why?
From IDOS for your PC. What'd you think?
Well, I mean...
Oh my god, I hate these games.
Getting tired of these
Okay, okay, never mind. I don't hate these games, I just don't care for them. I really don't.
Ancient China, about 220 AD.
That's the element
If you like real-time strategy games like this, go ahead. That's your kind of thing. I'm not gonna judge you for that. It's just not me.
With nice picturesque cinematics and storytelling. I didn't get any of that.
All right, we'll talk about the game then. There's sub-maps. There's one giant city map where you build all your units, and then you take your troops out, and you go into sort of the travel map, and then you head over to the enemy camp map, and that's where you storm their walls and try to break in and do some damage to their village.
I loved Age of Empires.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but, you know, if you're going to do something really cool and unique like this, make it a game like Tropico. That was cool, owning your own island.
Fate of the Dragon was fun.
Wow,
I mean,
Tropico's
I had a good
this
time with
old.
it, but not a lot new. I'm going to give it a
What are they on now,
6.5
like
out of 10.
5 or 6?
3.5.
Okay, speaking of timeless heroes, let's talk about Spider-Man for the Dreamcast.
The thing with
Spider-Man for the... Wow, they actually did mention the Dreamcast. Good for them.
When I mean exact, I mean exact. I mean, they didn't add anything. Now, Spider-Man on the PlayStation was a great game.
Yes, yeah.
But don't expect anything new. The cinematics in this game are really great. The
Yeah, that's a
storyline's
port of
really
the PlayStation version.
It's a little hard to control Spidey at first, but Spidey's a hard character to control because he can go anywhere, and that's the great part about
Tony
it.
Hawk's Pro Skater wasn't meant for the Dreamcast, and they just ported that over.
That you do get. The voice acting.
I kind of wish that they did Pro Skater 3 on Dreamcast.
It was great on the PlayStation, it was great on the N64, and yes, of course, it is great on the Dreamcast as well. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I wanted it to be that much better, but it's still one that you definitely should pick up.
I give it a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a rocking game. Good stuff. Let's talk about Mario Party 3. Now, this could
Ooh,
possibly be the
what do you got?
last Nintendo 64 game we ever review.
This game actually was fun to play. As simple as it is, it's basically like a board game.
It's a board game, and you're walking around from square to square, and you have different challenges. Most of the game is just a series of mini games, and if you do have friends over, it's an awesome time.
I still say this is my favorite in the entire series. 4 comes close, and I have a special spot for 7.
Shuffle, and I think there was a Crash Bash game for the PlayStation as well. This is, I'd say, the best out of all the party games that I've seen. The one-player mode is actually quite snappy. In the past, when you've played one-player games,
Yeah, story mode is actually pretty decent.
But the best, of course, is having 3 friends with you and having a 4-player game. So I'm going to give Mario Party 3 an 8 out of 10. How about you?
I give it an 8 also.
We're agreeing?
On a Nintendo game besides.
That can't be right.
It's incredible.
An A.
Hey, I got something for you.
What's that?
Hooray for Hollywood! Da, 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 Hollywood! Yeah! Hooray for Hollywood! That's all the lyrics I know. Where are you going?
Yeah, walk it off, Tommy.
To purchase any games featured in Reviews on the Run, visit a Walmart near you. If you'd like us to review a specific game, visit our website at www.electplay.com.
Think they have any of these at Walmart?
2001, it's all done.
We had a blast.
We will see you next time on the Electric Playground.
Okay, so it's just that part, then.
There's no business like show business, like no business
I'm not being a dork on camera. If any of that makes the credits while it's rolling up, there's going to be trouble.
There's no business
He's not
like
done.
no business, like no business like no.
It better not make it.
Oh, boy.
Aaron,
What a
you know
wild
what I'm
time.
talking about. Vic's being a dork.
You know what the lyrics are?
Are you done yet?
There's no
There's no business like show business. I hope I don't get copyright claim for this, but I really don't care.
Give me that.
Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, let me resize this again. Alright. You guys almost tired? Okay, we've only got like 3 more videos. This next one's just a quick we're kind of done with the E3 stuff, so this next one is just kind of like a quick news feed. As to, you know, they always have to have like newsreels as to what's going on. What's up? Back. Here we go.
This video game war is heating up tonight. Nintendo's GameCube system is about to hit the stores, but some lucky people are already playing the games. Kathleen Trigg joins us now with the story. Kathleen?
Well, Rollin, it's all part of a $75 million marketing campaign designed to convince video game fans that GameCube is better than the competition. And tonight they lined up outside a New York nightclub just to get a sneak peek.
So
it's any video game fanatic's dream, a club where the music is blaring, lights are glaring, but instead of dancing, these club goers are getting down with a sneak peek of Nintendo's latest invention, GameCube.
I mean, didn't we just see 2 hours of that?
True Nintendo lovers like Earshot Hamid lined up as early as noon today just to be the first inside the Soho nightclub.
We're just waiting for the GameCube to come out. Everybody's so anxious to play with it and everything.
Once inside, game fans say the experience was nothing short of exciting, with 32 big-screen, high-definition Panasonic TVs, each featuring one of Nintendo's highly
Wow, a
anticipated
2001 HD TV.
I played Super Smash Brothers. So
how is it?
It was pretty good. It's very good.
This year, Nintendo is featuring everything from
Monkey Ball.
Super Monkey Ball to Wave Race, which lets players get a little wet and wild. And old favorites basketball and football look so real, you feel like you're part of the action. So what do you think?
It's very realistic. It's better than any other system that I played before.
So what is it that
That clear didn't play Dreamcast.
competitors like Sony PlayStation 2? Many of these video game experts tell me it's all in the controls.
No, actually, it's very easy. Once you memorize it, press start. Once you memorize it, you know.
Once you memorize it, press start.
But Nintendo says ease is not the only feature separating their newest game from the rest.
This, I think, pushes the envelope of reality. This system, I've had people when I was doing shows in Houston walk up wondering who was playing football on CBS. That's how real it was.
I was one of those who made that mistake tonight. Well, GameCube will hit the stores in just about 10 days, but it's going to have some stiff competition. Sony PlayStation 2 and Microsoft's new Xbox also expected to be big hits this year. Now, one thing you should know, at $200, GameCube is $100 cheaper than the others.
I feel like that's also a reason why we got the GameCube instead of the PlayStation 2. Because one, my mom... I was 2 years old at the time when the GameCube came out. My brother was 7 and my sister was 5, alright? So we were kids. My mom didn't want us playing a game system that was targeted more towards adults, as you see, the Nintendo was more the family-friendly system. But I felt like it was easier on her just to get a system, because I don't even know if we had DVD stuff at the time, because that was another thing that people were thinking of when buying a GameCube. It's like, can we play DVDs on this? And unfortunately, you know, with something that's this size with this small of a disc, yeah, you can't do that. And we were almost expecting that for the Wii as well. So we stuck with VHS tapes for a while. I remember we didn't get a DVD player till a little bit later, but I feel like that's mostly the reason, because it was more cost effective. Okay, so I got 2 more videos for you. So this next one is a video that I've already watched, but it's pretty informational. I'm gonna warn you guys, there are a little bit of graphic parts in this because it mentions 9/11. Kind of take into a fact that this was that the GameCube was released during a time when a lot of people were suffering from 9/11 drawbacks, and somebody kind of needed an outlet to cope with losses, because, like I mentioned before, the GameCube released in Japan mere days after the September 11th attacks, and it released here in November 2001, so this was just a little bit after 9/11. So, kind of putting that aside, this is a series of videos, or at least this is part of a series of videos, where this guy had his dad, he went to Japan a lot, like his dad went to Japan, and he picked up some games early, like this is when he got the GameCube in North America, before the North American launch. Like, his dad imported a GameCube from Japan, in September of 2001. So it's neat to see, but kind of like take it in a mindset that like this was, during the 9/11 attacks, okay? So that being said, This is the last major video that we're gonna watch today.
My retro life is made possible with the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
He's got a lot of videos of these two, of other systems. I watched his Xbox One.
Genesis, the Power Edge!
Watch it, buddy. Yeah, it's the Atari. Sega CD-ROM, New Nintendo.
Enough to make.
We got like all the new systems when they came out at the time.
Tyler will fly off the track before the end.
When I look back at my history with the Nintendo 64, the first word that comes to mind is fun. We had a lot of fun back in those days. The N64 library was home to edge-of-your-seat arcade-style racers like Diddy Kong Racing and F-Zero X.
Who's gonna win? Me. Manny, the original king of games, then this Tyler Esposito playing games since he was 3.
Man, I wish I was this kid and I had his father.
PCs with cutting-edge first-person shooters like Turok 2 Seeds of Evil or Duke Nukem 3D. But the cartridge cream of the crop were the 3D platformers. Even in the early 2000s, near the end of the N64's life, Super Mario 64 was still king, and without a follow-up. It's true. Over 5 years had passed without a new Mario game, and Dad and I began to ask ourselves, will there ever be a Mario 64 sequel? Hope would come in the form of a dolphin.
Here we go.
No, not that dolphin. The Nintendo Dolphin, later to be renamed GameCube. Although this dolphin from our trip to San Antonio SeaWorld is mighty cool. Just look at the little guy.
Tyler, here he comes, here he comes.
When the Dolphin, GameCube, was first announced at E3 2001, everyone watching not only hoped, they expected there to be a new Mario game announcement. The soon-to-be system seller. What would it be called? Mario 128? Mario Cubed? That's when Nintendo of Japan dropped a proverbial bomb.
Now we're going to take a quick glance at our next game, Mario Series. It's the next in the Mario series.
We watched this earlier too. And the crowd goes silent.
Luigi's Mansion? This was not what any of us expected, or quite frankly, wanted. At least, we didn't think so at the time. Regardless, the GameCube was coming, Mario 64 sequel or not, and Luigi's Mansion was actually quite appealing to the Ghostbuster fan base.
See what I mean?
Luigi as a Ghostbuster? This game had potential, but we'd have to wait until the US launch date of November 18th, 2001 to find out. Oh, who am I kidding? Dad imported the console a full 2 months before it hit stateside.
It says Nintendo. It does. There it does. Say Nintendo.
The unthinkable happened today. The World Trade Center, both towers gone, and we are all witnesses to it, and to some degree we are all victims. Tonight,
the package containing our Japanese GameCube arrived on September 21st, 10 days after the attack in New York. With my high school chum David as a third-party observer, Dad and I unboxed the console for the first time.
Simple cover, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
The game covers are a lot smaller in Japan.
This is the memory card, 59.
Oh, wow. It looks like a PlayStation.
God, look how thin this everything is.
It's so small.
Things appear much larger on the TV screen. I'm telling you, this thing, my hand is too big. Look at the size of my hand.
I know.
You can actually tell how many blocks are by the colors of the
Wow, it's simple box covers. Yeah. It's like they deliberately designed them this way.
Yeah.
Luigi Mansion.
Mario. There's me too. My head's bigger than his. No resale. Ooh, that's weird. I don't want
Look how different the GameCube.
If I'm not mistaken, this is just a regular cable that comes with Nintendo 64. And there it is.
Whoa.
First time in Texas.
This is
right,
amazing.
David? You're witness to this.
Yeah, I am.
No terrorists around, right?
Hopefully not. think it was in.
I thought after that happened last week we wouldn't get it because of importing stuff and shipping. There it is.
We actually have the GameCube in our house right now.
It's kind of surreal hearing my dad reference the attack in New York. It was a scary time, and the GameCube served as a distraction from the chaos.
Well, it's out of the box and in our hands with a handle. I think the American version is going to be very close to this because the release of this is only 2 months different. Well, that cardboard feels like nobody ever opened it before. Yeah. Do you speak Japanese?
No.
Can you read Japanese?
No.
Yeah, there's nothing like the fresh smell of a brand new console with all the plastic in it.
See, what's always confusing is you always see the lid here, and you think of it as a CD. But these are only 3-inch CDs. So when you see that lid, you think of it as 5 inches.
Looks like a portable CD player.
Look at the controller. This is so you don't get any communicable diseases.
Wow, that controller's small too.
Hold it. Pull the bag down. Whoa. In your hands.
I realize
This is more exciting than when you got Super NES.
Dad's referencing a candid camera moment he captured 10 years prior in September of 1991 with the launch of the Super Nintendo. I don't know, Dad. Kind of hard to top that moment.
I think more excited than I thought I would be. That is the weirdest game machine I've ever seen.
And that excitement would carry over into the living room as we powered on the console for the first time.
Not to mention the Xbox. The Xbox and the GameCube came out the same, like almost the same week.
Well, we'll be hearing that for a while.
And the size difference between the machines is night and day. The Xbox is fucking huge compared to this thing. I'm surprised that the Japanese GameCube with the power adapter even works on the US currents. I thought it would like shorten out. Luigi Mansion. It's not his mansion, it's the mansion that's named after him.
See, these are 60 frames for real time. That's what they say on the internet.
The internet lies. Wow, early 2000s internet lying to you. What a facade. Wow, what a mansion. I hope he doesn't become a Luigi sandwich. It's playing better than I ever would.
Doing this thing. With the ghost.
Is that a mirror over there?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Whoa. Oh, that's what I feel.
You can see the back wall, yeah.
Yeah. He's like... Odd. Mario! That was key.
Love that sound effect.
You can really hear it in my voice. You can feel the excitement in the room. Nintendo had done it again.
Yeah, pop it open. Oh, wow.
Luigi's Mansion, although not a traditional Mario headlining act,
I love how it's just like Luigi's head on the box art and nothing else. And we have like the superior box art that has all the ghosts with it.
Friday afternoon, and now it is Sunday night, and Tyler's at the end, or close to the end of Luigi's Mansion.
Man, beating the entire game in the first weekend it's out. In Japanese, no less. Surprised this kid knows what he's doing. Wait, do you really need to know Japanese to play Luigi's Mansion? If you know the core mechanics. It's slightly text heavy, but I think it's playable. And I love the final boss where you get to blow Robot Bowser's fucking head off.
Bowser? It was Bowser all along? At this point in my retro life, I was quite accustomed with taking this guy down. But as Mario, could I get the job done as Luigi?
I'm not gonna grab his tail.
Yeah. Grab his tail like the other games?
It's not really Bowser.
Yeah, see?
Well, Tyler, in typical Nintendo fashion, the boss is extensive.
Very.
Yeah, like you get to blow his head off.
Are you a Ghostbuster?
The Bowser's bounced. Man.
Looking back on this footage from 2001, I'm reminded of just how much change was happening in my life.
Amazing. How tiny it is.
At least the buttons are in English.
As video games became more mature with consoles like the PS2 and Xbox, I was sort of forced to mature with them. I was a sophomore in high school preparing for the real world. Thankfully, we still had Nintendo.
So, what do you think of this Japanese Nintendo weekend on September 21st it started?
Nintendo's back?
The GameCube was a glimmer of electronic hope in an oftentimes hopeless world. And even though the path ahead lay shrouded in darkness, we at least had a friend there to walk with us into the unknown.
It's hard to think about, but you kind of have to take into effect that, yeah, it did happen during a dark time, not only just in American history, but in world history, that I feel like, not just for this guy, but for a lot of people, that the GameCube and maybe even the Xbox or the PlayStation 2, or just video games in general, were kind of an escape to get away from real life tragedies that were happening at this time. I mean, if I lost my parents, I'd be devastated. If I lost my parents due to a terrorist attack, I'd be devastated, but I definitely would probably need the helping hand of a GameCube to get me through that time. So it's definitely something to think about, especially after the GameCube launched mere days after the attacks here, especially after it launched mere days in Japan. I think the Japanese launch was September 14th. So, man, they got it within a week's time. We don't get that fast anymore. Alright, I think to wrap this party up, because I kind of want to get you guys out of here, I'm just going to watch some regular commercials for the GameCube. I think we've had a good retrospective. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. And again, I'll share the links with you guys tomorrow. And then after this, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you like what's the plan for this week. So let's just watch some more commercials just to mellow out.
That's not a fight. Over 20 unexpected characters in one big brawl. Now that's a fight.
That's a knife.
Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated T for
That's okay. These early GameCube commercials are so weird. It's like they barely showed any footage of it, and then they were doing this really weird thing. It's almost like what Nintendo was doing during the mid-Super Nintendo age.
You've got one night to save Mario from the supernatural. Luigi's Mansion. Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
Get ready for eye-popping, jaw-dropping GameCube action with Mario Party 4.
Mario.
Good friends go at it, live and
Actually, if you excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
players pair up in a battle royale of 50 mini-games, played at the corner of madness and mayhem. Mario Party 4. May the best man, woman, or dinosaur win. Only on Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
A planet that only knows fear needs a hero that has none. Star Fox Adventures, only for Nintendo GameCube, rated T for teen.
Here we see a wild Pikmin in its natural environment. These strange creatures become attached to whoever pulls them from the ground, loyal and obedient. Pikmin work together to fight large predators like this grub dog, even if it means getting eaten. As night falls, the Pikmin return to their nest to rest for another day of hard work. Hang in there, little guys. Pikmin. Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
I gotta understand how Pikmin works.
Cherish life and never waste.
Everyone loves a sunshiny day.
What the fuck?
We're gonna keep it that way. As clean is better than dirty, and dirty's me.
Oh.
It's all lend a helping hand. Mario can't do it alone. He'll spray his
Oh.
and clean the sludge that's on the ground. As clean is better than dirty, and dirty's meaner than clean.
Only for Nintendo GameCube, rated E for everyone.
Nice choice.
For a limited time, if you buy a Nintendo GameCube for $99.99, you'll get a bonus disc with 4 classic Zelda games free.
In the land of Hyrule, the wind echoes a legend. A legend that tells of a boy who became a man. He traveled to the ends of the earth, challenging the forces of nature, testing the limits
I probably could have shown a bunch more of this GameCube archival footage, but I think, 2, almost 3 hours of this stuff is enough. So...
save me.
The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Rated E for everyone.
Here's the true story.
Oh, I like the Animal Crossing commercials.
What happens when they stop being themselves?
And start being someone else.
Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube. Today I was like, let's redecorate the house.
And I was like, maybe we should buy some furniture first.
Nice outfit. Where'd you get it? A garbage dump?
Yeah.
Welcome to Animal Crossing, the live game that's happening every minute of every day, whether you're playing or not.
Winter's coming soon. Should I make pants for that?
Rated E for everyone.
There's a couple more of those as well, though.
Eyes on target. Oh, go!
Let the battle begin. You can use incredible power-up moves to stake your claim as king of the court in new Mario Power Tennis. Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
And I can't wait to play Mario Golf on GameCube. F-Zero. I have yet to try it on F-Zero GX. I heard it's wicked hard, though. Like, harder than any of the F-Zero games. Prime.
The cold silence of space only punctuates the feeling of death that emanates from this virtually lifeless planet. Only one thing is alive and well here.
And I can't believe when Prime came out and we thought it was gonna suck. Because it was in first person.
Decimated, exterminated.
And I'm so glad that we were wrong because they made it work so well. One of these days I'll play through and beat Metroid Prime. Just don't want to start from the beginning again. Had so much budget into that commercial. Double dash.
Tag team, or else. Mario Kart Double Dash. Drive, throw stuff, switch. Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated for everyone.
Oh, this commercial.
Sir, are you afraid of the gorilla? Maybe stand a chance against the big boys? Do you have a girlfriend? Sir, will your brother be on your team?
Do you really think you can win?
Sir, I think what we're all looking for is, do you have a stance on anything?
The Mario Party.
Forget politics. Join the party with Mario Party 5.
I don't like Mario Party 5, but I do love that commercial.
Politics. Ready for everyone.
That's a funny commercial. That's a party I want to get behind. This guy's just waddling around in his chair like that.
Space combat. Star Wars Rogue Leader. Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated T15.
Aquí está, fanáticos, el partido entre los dos mejores equipos. ¡Mario! El super rival y se lleva el balón. Vean ustedes, va corriendo con el balón. Se la roban. Tiene Mario nuevamente. Está Mario con el balón. Va jugando a la izquierda. Tumba uno, tumba dos. Jugada de maravilla. De ensueño. Tiene el tiro.
The game will never be the same. Super Mario Strikers is here, only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
Good jugada de Mario.
Come and get
I'm fine. I'm fine. Jesus.
After you get a taste of the 85 new mini games and 6
I
exotic
wonder what they do with
boards,
those costumes.
realize this is no ordinary party cruise. Mario Party 7, rated everyone, only on Nintendo GameCube.
I wonder what they do with those costumes after they're done. They're keeping them in like a warehouse or something. What the hell is this? Ew. What the fuck? That was for Eternal Darkness? We're fucked up in the game. Oh, I know what this is for. I know what this is for. Geist.
Geist, only for
Yeah.
Nintendo GameCube, rated M for mature.
I think we're gonna play that after Eternal Darkness. Ooh, Simpsons.
A diabolical plot is unfolding, and only one man
can stop it.
Oh, do I have to?
The whole town's gone nuts. Security cameras, mysterious vans, crop circles.
Take the wheel! I'm not a terribly mobile person. And take to the streets!
Chest pain! Having chest pain!
To solve a mystery!
This game's gone way up in price.
Play as your favorite Simpsons character and over 40 of Springfield's finest vehicles.
Jeep Canyonero!
Best Simpsons game ever, says Electronic Gaming.
It honestly is, besides the Simpsons arcade game.
For any Simpsons fan. It's time to save.
Why did it take them this long to make a great Simpsons game?
By foot? By the seat of your pants.
When's this going to start?
Oh, that's so fun it should be a felony. Rated T for teen.
In the town of Sunnydale, California, the nightlife is dying out.
You are so dead.
Literally.
Okay, not too long.
Bring it on, living dead.
Oh no, is this
Careful, kids. Don't try this at home.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Another trophy for Squadron.
That's a name I haven't thought about in, God, maybe 15 years. What is Sarah Michelle Gellar up to these days?
That's it, open wide.
There goes the neighborhood.
I really saw much of this show.
This summer, get your sleigh on. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Chaos bleeds. Being dead just got deadlier. Rated T for teen.
I have no interest in playing that,
Next time
though.
you're having a party like this one, leave me off the invite list, yeah?
The hunters become the hunted. Fox McCloud and his Star Fox team hunt their enemies by air, by
Star
tank,
Fox
and
Assault.
by foot in their newest adventure, Star Fox Assault. Only for Nintendo GameCube. Rated T for teen.
Done? Well, just about out of time, actually. So that's it. That's all the videos that I had for tonight. So for those who are here, I guess I can switch my camera now. And let me bring something over. So for those who are here for the entire time, thank you so much for watching this nice little retrospective. The GameCube, while it wasn't the best-selling console, by no means was it a great-selling console at all. I definitely had my good childhood experience with it, and I feel like with this console mod that I'm gonna be doing as soon as the SD card mount for it comes up. So like, what I need is in the GameCube, there's this big part here that makes up the disk drive. I'm taking this part out, and there's going to be an SD card slot in it that connects to the GC loader in the base of it. So I'm taking this whole part out. In fact, actually, let me show you the GameCube that I am modding instead. This one. So, I bought a secondary GameCube. Yeah, what a weird time travel video. Thanks for watching it. I bought a second one because this one, unlike my childhood GameCube, my childhood GameCube only has the one port at the top, as you can see. This one has two. This one actually has the digital output in the rare event that I ever get a component cable for this thing. That all depends on if I ever make a shit ton of money in the end. But not only that, this one has on the back a second serial port that my original GameCube does not have. So this is my GameCube, and you can see there's no serial port here. But the earlier models of the GameCube actually do have the serial port here. And we will be using this serial port for a secondary mod chip, which I actually just ordered today, so we are not going to show that tomorrow, but by next week I should have that. Other than that, yeah, so I haven't tested this out yet, but this entire part in here is going to be replaced with the SD card mount, which should be coming in the mail tomorrow. But the main event, the main attraction is in this box here. You guys ready for this? This is it. This is, I know it's still hard to see in the plastic, but this is the GC loader. Still in the plastic, still in the box. I'm gonna break this open tomorrow, but this is what we are putting in the GameCube. I know it's hard to see. It'll be easier to see tomorrow. Plus, I bought a small 32 gigabyte SD card for it. And the reason why I went for that is because after I'm done using the this SD card, I'm gonna transfer this over to the Wii so I can homebrew my Wii using this, and then I'll get a 1 terabyte micro SD card for the GC loader, because I didn't want to get 1 terabyte all at once because that would just break my entire wallet. So I kind of want just to get a 32 gigabyte just to start, and then reuse that for the Wii. But yeah, one more time. There she is, and this is what exactly we're going to be breaking open tomorrow. So that is going to go in here. If I get the SD card mount tomorrow. If not, then we'll do it on Wednesday. But yeah, this was the last thing that I wanted to do before we go full ham on GameCube. I can't believe this day's finally come, ever since I announced this project back in February. So, not only that, but after that, I plan on getting a Gameboy Advance player for this, and a Game Boy EverDrive, and we'll also be taking a look at the Game Boy lineup as well. So that's all planned for the future, but it all depends on, one, if I can find a job and you know, make some more money, because I'm trying to preserve as much money as I can right now. But other than that, yeah, thanks so much for everything. So we're gonna see who's on. Yep. You on? If she is not. Who is on that I can host? Watch my friend Pat. I haven't hosted him in a long time. He is doing a music review of some sorts, so we're gonna go be checking that out. But yeah, other than that, GameCube, it's in full force starting tomorrow. All right, take care, folks. See you tomorrow. Good night.